moment, heads the ball into the box, the goalkeeper, each one comes down, it's going to go in! Tyler Smith with the faintest of touches has put Swindon ahead of the derby, deep in stoppage time. Smith puts it behind the box, the header, and it's an equaliser from Brett Pitman from the set piece. Just clipped the header in. Fox hits a spectacular shot. What a goal from Scott Clyde. Inside the penalty area and scores with a left-footed drop to put Swindon in front as Rovers are stuck to rest when the ball ricochets to it. Kane breaks inside the penalty area and pumps it home, and Swindon lead inside the last 20 minutes.
Good evening and welcome to our of the Season Awards. Unfortunately, for the second time, we've now had to host these virtually, and albeit we've not had the best of seasons, but we carry on tradition and carry out the awards, which our members have voted for. So we have got two awards that we're presenting this evening, one for the Official Supporters Club and one for the Advertiser. So without further ado, I will bring Vic onto the stream.
And a very good evening to you. How are you this evening? Are you well?
Good evening, Vic. I'm very well, thank you. You're looking very smart tonight.
Yeah, well, it's my once a year dressing up day, so there we are. I've had my second COVID jab this evening, so anything could happen in the next hour, I can assure you. I'm officially an old person today. How about
that? We'll find out about all of the adverse side effects then.
You're looking at
Lovely.
them, quite frankly.
So, so Vic, I'm going to hand over to you to give us a little bit of an overview of the season, give us your thoughts. I know that there's a couple of highlights, and then give us your thoughts about the summer, how we can rebuild for next season.
Hannah, thank you very much indeed. Well, I don't think there's a Town fan out there who's enjoyed this season. 12 months ago, we were sitting here with smiles on our faces. We won promotion, the League Two title, albeit on points per game. Nonetheless, we were looking forward to a return to League One. Well, this year it's another return, this time to League Two. And it's a return in ignominious fashion. The most defeats in the league in the club's history. There were sparse bright moments, a winning start, the Kassam, of course, and the Mem, but too few and too far between. So here we are, relegated, unsure of who will own the club, who will manage it, although Robbie Fowler has been strongly linked today. Not a great 12 months, and of course, on any level, no fans at games, and miserable afternoons and evenings by laptop. So thankfully, it's goodbye to 2021. But what of 21-22? Well, there's a court case coming up. We should know hopefully soon what the ownership situation is. As we've heard, there are talks going on between the club and Robbie Fowler about a possible managerial appointment. Who's holding those talks? We don't know. So we shall have lots to discover over the next few months. And players who are contracted to the club will also have lots to discover over the next few months. We need a new squad. We need a pre-season schedule. And we need lots of planning for the forthcoming campaign back in League Two from whence we came. So lots to get through in the next hour in terms of awards, because there are always players of the season, no matter how bad the season is on paper. So we congratulate them and we look forward to another year in League Two, hopefully a better season than the one we've just endured. Well, let's get the thoughts of the club captain now, Dion Conroy, who has had his periods of adversity. There's no doubt about that. Good evening to you, Dion.
Hi Vic, how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much indeed. How are you, first and foremost?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Healed well after my minor operation, so now I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Obviously, disappointing into well, not disappointing. It's just been a disappointing season throughout, and just want to apologise to all the fans really, because as much as there are other things to blame, the players are really the ones to blame. We should have done better. We had the quality to do better. So yeah, we just got to pick ourselves up and hopefully produce a season like we did in League Two when we were last there.
Let's talk about that start to the campaign. You had a great start, didn't you? Winning at home to Rochdale. In fact, we're top of the league. All right, albeit it didn't really matter at that point. But you were doing okay. A couple of home wins, looking all right. Then, of course, you lose the manager. That change happens. You had 2 serious injuries. You come back and then had to play a lot of games in a short space of time. How was that for you?
Obviously, I was on the personal. I was gutted that Richie left. Obviously, when I went through my first knee injury, he took over when I just started coming back, and kind of helped me find my game again and gave me some confidence and got me back playing football, got me back enjoying football. Because it's a tough thing coming back from a big knee operation. Then obviously happened again last year with a knee operation on the other leg. So coming back into this season, the season started well. They won games. The mood was everyone was buzzing in the team around. The whole energy around the ground was good. And then obviously Richie left and things just kind of unraveled quite quickly. So it was tough for me to come back into that team when I'd only trained for 10 days. Obviously, I played Bristol City in a pre-season friendly, and then had an operation on my Achilles that we didn't really understood too well. So it took longer to get that diagnosed. Really, was the big issue. That's why I missed most of the time. But as soon as I got diagnosed, had the operation, I was back training within 4 weeks. So that was 14 months really out. I hadn't played a league game, and then within 7 days of training, I got asked to go on the bench, and then came on against Gillingham, and then played 19 games in a row without any training, nothing. So on a personal note, it's been the toughest, physically, mentally, the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was frustrating that we couldn't produce the results that we needed to. But yeah, I think it was tough for everyone, especially with the pandemic going around. I think all the players struggled, really.
If I might talk to you about that managerial change, and there were moments when we're watching, right, and you're taken off, and there is no acknowledgement between you and the manager. How was that relationship? If you can talk about it, if you want to talk about it.
Well, I'd be honest as I can. Be as honest as I can, really. I think from day one, really, I'm not sure we kind of saw eye to eye in a way. More, I think, on his behalf, I kind of got on with things and worked as hard as I could. Obviously, coming back from the injuries, I was desperate to play football. So I came back, and I think it's just one of them things where I don't even think it was the way I played. I think it was just on a personal level. We didn't like me as a person, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, it got to a stage where it kind of got quite toxic, even towards the end of the season. Obviously, having another operation, I got told that just at the end of the season I wasn't allowed to be around any of the players. So it was a very strange relationship, and especially going from someone like Richie, who is very detailed with everything he does. I think that's what made him such a great manager, was how much he worked on kind of every scenario, how he wanted us to play, working on other teams' faults and try to exploit them. That kind of, we didn't really get that. In all honesty, we didn't. To be fair, we didn't. It wasn't nowhere near it. So we went from one end of the spectrum to another. So it was a big change for all the players. But yeah, on a personal note, it wasn't very. It was very toxic between me me and John Sheridan. So I'm not quite sure why it went like that. I never got an explanation. I obviously had another Achilles problem in January. It flared up in January again on the other side. So obviously just coming back from the big knee injury, and I've just started playing a few games. I think we played well in the games that came back as well. I think it was Doncaster away. I think it was Charlton at home, Fleetwood at home. I think considering I hadn't played for a while, I played pretty well. And the time my Achilles started flaring up, I didn't want to stop playing. So I kind of, from January all the way up to April, I tried training as much as I could, which only got to once or twice a week because of the Astro and the weather changes. I kept being told, why am I not training more? Why am I not doing this? I tried explaining everything, and it just obviously seemed he didn't understand that I couldn't train more than once. And it just got to a very toxic stage where obviously I was being brought off at 70 minutes. And yeah, it didn't end well, but hopefully we can sort this out over the summer and get a good squad together and get back to where the club should be.
This is from Ray. Keep your head up, Dion. You have the quality, which is a nice comment. When we've spoken to you before, you've talked about the dark places you've been when you've been injured. And I think we can all understand that because you've had two very lengthy spells out of the game. You get back.
Yeah.
How was that personally for you? Because, we talk a lot about mental health and sometimes pay lip service to it. But how were you at that time during, post-January?
Post-January?
Yeah.
It was very tough. Very tough. I'm pretty sure some of the boys could. I'm not sure they'd say it, but it got to a stage where it was daily. I was getting attacked on a personal note. It was every day I was getting picked out for doing certain things that weren't really an issue. So it got kind of grinding, and I think the majority of the team kind of just the whole kind of energy that we brought into from being promoted to League One, that completely just went. It became quite a toxic place. The confidence in all the players went, especially in myself. That's the one thing I appreciate Richie so much for, was when I came back from that first knee injury, the amount of confidence he gave into me as a player helped me get back to where I needed to get to. So obviously coming into the back end of the season from January, when I'm struggling with another minor injury and coming back from a 14-month injury, you need someone that's going to help and build your confidence and kind of, instead of every day, grill you for the most minor things. So it got toxic. But yeah, I got on with it. I worked hard, worked as hard as I could, tried to keep myself fit, but not being able to train every day was was very tough for me, because obviously missing 14 months and then not being able to train every day and then try and produce the best performance I could on a Saturday, Tuesday, while having another injury in my left Achilles. It was very tough. So yeah, there was some evenings where I struggled with it. And so I'm very grateful that I've got a very supportive family and friends that helped me get through it. But again, it wasn't good enough from the players. We've got players that are very talented, and we should have done a lot better than what we did. So part of the blame has to come on us, definitely.
Well, this is from Richard. The honesty is refreshing. Fair play, Dion. And I think Tyler Smith last night was equally honest. From Shane, Dion is a class act, can easily play in a higher league. This from Pete. What was the reaction when John Sheridan was talked out of resigning? You might remember after Gillingham, there was a talk that he might go, but then decided to stay. What did the squad feel? And from Jamie, were there other players who were told to stay away from the squad? What have you got to say on those two matters? It's up to you what you say.
Obviously, when you hear after the Gillingham game, obviously I think me and Brody got brought off that game, if I remember correctly again. So I think at the time, I think if he did resign, I think maybe that might have given us a chance to kind of revamp things and give each other some confidence and kind of go into the final end of the season. trying to stay up. I think that maybe could have helped. I don't know. It's a tough one. When your manager says he's thinking of resigning, that's not really giving you giving confidence into the players and the whole situation, is it? So I think that kind of speaks for itself. And what was the second question again?
The second was, let me have a look. Oh, yeah. Were there other players who were told to stay away from the squad?
I think another example was Granty, really. He obviously started off, he was incredible last season. For me, the best player in the league, 100%. And then he started off this season, started really well. He obviously picked up a little ankle injury and he was playing through it for a very long time. And then he got to a stage where all of a sudden he got dropped. And then I think, I'm not 100% sure on what happened, but I think he should have been back in the team a lot sooner, is what I'd say on it. So, but yeah, Granty's a class act. He never did anything wrong. He worked as hard as he could. And as you can see, he did as what he was asked. He was told to play centre half for the last few games and worked as hard as he could. So that's all I can say on that, really.
Okay, this is from Ray Murphy. Dion's worked for 2 years on a career-ending injury, although though he's arguably the most talented player at the club, he needs everyone's support. So again, nice supportive message there. Was it just John Sheridan or Tommy Wright causing the issue, says Luke? I mean, I don't know what you want to say on that.
No, I haven't got anything against Tommy Wright or John Sheridan, but I'm pretty sure, like I said, as soon as I hear it was just a clash of personalities between me and John Sheridan. I just think he didn't like me. And again, I still don't know really what the reason was to this day. I have respect for him. I have nothing against him as a person at all. Yeah, that's all I can say. I honestly don't really know why I was kind of thrown out the picture like that. So. Okay,
fair enough. Justin says, any light on why Matt Smith was recalled, sent back?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, fair enough. Idea. Right, well, let's look to, I know there are more comments coming in, but we've got a couple of minutes left. So let's look to next season. And you, you've got another year to go.
Another year.
Yeah. So you fully expect to be part of Swindon Town's lineup next season. And you will hopefully get a full pre-season. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that was the frustrating thing last pre-season is I was very close to being ready to start playing 5 games into the season. I kind of worked really hard last pre-season, and then to have this kind of ankle injury that we couldn't the problem was we couldn't diagnose what it was. We thought it was just severe tendonitis, but it ended up being like a plantaris issue, which basically all I've had done is this ligament runs from your Achilles up to the inside of your knee, and you just need the bottom half cut out of it. And it took a while to diagnose that because it's quite a tricky thing to kind of tell because not everyone has that tendon. But as soon as I had it done, it was a 3-week turnaround, so it's nothing major. So I wish I had that kind of diagnosed quicker. But yeah, as I say, for next season, I'm ready to get as fit as I can this off season and then be ready for pre-season and hopefully put in a really good season for the fans.
Well, Dion, thank you very much. Appreciate your honesty, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And you know, when we've spoken to you before, we know exactly what you've been through, and people are very quick to criticise, but they should realise there are reasons.
That's what comes with the game. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Dion, you go and have a nice summer and get yourself fit and back in August. Thank you very much. Cheers, Tim. All the very best to you.
Bye.
Cheers. Dion Conroy giving us a look at what is life inside the county ground, and goodness me, he's had a tough time. So I think it's lovely to hear from Dion, and hopefully he comes back next season fully fit and leading the team. Right, it is now coming up to 7:20. Time for our first award, which is the official Supporters Club Player of the Season award. And I'm delighted to welcome Roger Bunce onto the stream, who has been a great member of the Supporters Club for many, many years. And I've spoken to many times outside the county ground. Roger, an absolute delight to see you. How are you?
Well, as you can see, I've got Parkinson's these days, which is why I can't get to football. But no, apart from that, I'm okay.
You, of course, how long were you with the Supporters Club on the committee, selling tickets outside the ground, that sort of thing?
Well, I was on the committee for about 4 years, and I was chairman for about 15.
And how long have you watched the town for?
Since I was 6, but that's got too many sums too big to work out now. So a long time.
And obviously, you'll be disappointed as everybody else about this season and the return to League Two. Your thoughts on it?
Well, the last couple of years, I've spent about 6 or 7 months of each year in hospital. So I used to be laying in bed shaking with this Parkinson's, and the results were getting worse and worse, and it was shaking more and more. So I used to stop listening to the radio for a while.
Fair enough. Right, you've got some business to deal with. I know you want to say a few words. So, the official Supporters Club Player of the Season award. What have you got to say on that matter?
Well, if you look through the list of previous winners, it's it's everyone who's been a star player at Swindon Town. Some have won it twice. Sean Taylor won it 3 times. Fraser Digby won it 3 times. And so whoever wins it, whatever time, has got a lot of people to follow. Joe Butler had it twice. John Trollope had it twice. People of that standard, who everyone could relate to, especially like Sean. He was everyone's favourite. Fraser the same. And so I know it's been a difficult season, and I've only seen it from the outside, but we all love the football club. And at the minute, I get the feeling between the Supporters Club and the Trust, it's the best it's ever been. And I was involved in both for quite a while, certainly the Sports Club, as you know. And if they can get together, pull everything together, I just hope and pray that everything will go right.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little message from Mark Waters, by the way. He says it's great to see you. So thank you very much indeed for being with us tonight. And I should say, of course, that the Supporters Club have decided to name this award in your honour, Roger. So this is the Roger Bunce Official Supporters Club Player of the Season award. So I
was quite taken back by that, and very proud for that to have happened.
Well, there we are. I think we're having 1 or 2 problems with getting the winner. As soon as we get the winner back on the stream, I'll let you know. Right, I think we are ready to present it. So who is the Roger Bunch Official Supporters Club Player of the Season, Roger?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, right, fair enough. Well, I can tell you it's Jack Payne. So if Jack Payne would like to join us. Jack, hello to you. Hi. Many congratulations. We're going to talk to you in greater detail in a little while, but your thoughts on receiving this award this season?
Yeah, obviously, pretty obvious it's not been the best of seasons, been far from that, but nevertheless, it's obviously really grateful to anyone who voted, and yes, still an honour to receive it. So yeah, like I said, I'm very grateful.
In terms of, I know it's a season where it's a kind of double-edged sword, isn't it? Getting an award in a season like this, you would, I guess, rather have stayed up and not get awards. I guess it's that strange thing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I'd take that all day. If we would have stayed up and no awards, I'd be a lot happier than I am now. But it's football. It's one of them things. Some seasons go how you want, and then some don't. But in a bad season, to still get this, it's something to be positive about. So yeah, like I said, I'm really grateful about it.
Well, Jack, if you don't mind hanging around, we'll have a greater chat in a little while.
No
Roger, thank you very much indeed, and we wish you all the very best, Roger. And I'd like to personally say thank you for all your work with the Supporters Club over the years, and for all our chats outside the county ground over many years. I really appreciate those.
Yes, and everyone on your committee, my thanks for the honour that you've given me, and just keep going.
Well deserved. Roger, thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate your time this evening. Thank you. Take care. Take the very best care of yourself. Thank you. Right, that's the Roger Bunce Official Supporters Club Award, Player of the Season. Many comments coming in. If you'd like to leave them in our Facebook page and we can get through them. It's time then for the Advertiser Player of the Year Award. Now, I could go through the list of previous winners here. It started way back in the 1960s. Those of us in older persuasion will remember Ken McPherson, the great Mike Summerby, Mel Nurse, the great Sir Don Rogers, of course, who will be with us tomorrow night as we look back on season 62-63. Stan Harlan, John Trobb, who will also be joining us tomorrow night. The great Peter Eastoe, Cammy, Chris Kamara, Sean Taylor, Sam Parkin, Matt Haywood. The list goes on and on. And from the Evening Advertiser, or the Swindon Advertiser, I should say these days, is Johnny Leafield. Very good evening to you, Johnny.
Hello, Vic. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you very much indeed. Now, I was just going to ask you to present an award, but there's a little bit more going on today. There's the possibility of Robbie Fowler in talks with the club about the managerial situation, and also Steve Anderson resigning as one of the directors of Swindon Town Football Club. What is the latest that you can tell us on those two issues?
Well, I found out about Steve Anderson resigning as a director quite late on, so we're still kind of doing some digging around, the reasons for that. It seems very odd. But obviously, rest assured, I'm sure we'll find out the answer. And then, what was the first question again?
Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler. Who could forget? It was kind of exciting, I guess, when you hear a name like that. The high-profile names have kind of done quite well. So, obviously, hasn't got a lot of experience in the managerial hot seat, but I don't know. It's a good name. It sort of brings a bit of positive news to the club and things like that, which God knows we haven't had much of for a while. So we'll see how that unfolds, and I guess it's just keep logged on to the advert, and I'll keep you updated.
I guess the $1 million question: who's talking to Robbie Fowler?
Yeah, that is. Well, there's one of three, isn't it? I guess.
Yes.
It'll be, the chairman, Cordial, and/or Steve Anderson if he's still at the club in some role. So, I guess you kind of wonder how those people, if it's them that are talking, are kind of selling the club to him. I kind of don't know what you say if you're Lee Power and you're looking to sell the club to whoever. You're saying this is a great club, but I'm not going to be here. So I don't know. It's quite complicated in that sense. If only we were a fly on the wall.
If only. Right, I'll get you to do the honours in just a moment. This is from Tim. Lovely comments from Roger Bunce. Wonderful man. I think we'd all agree with that. So thank you very much, Steve, for those comments. Right, to the Swindon Advertiser Player of the Year award. As I've mentioned, some of the town's greats have won this award. So it is an award that any player should be rightly proud to receive. So take us through it, Johnny.
Yes, as you said, that we've had some kind of amazing names over the past, and as has already been touched on, although the season has been kind of quite disappointing, this award still kind of holds a bit of weight in my eyes. The player that won this, or even the 5 players that I kind of put up for the award, it was to a point, up to my discretion who made the shortlist, but the top 3, if you like, were, I guess, head and shoulders above everyone else. Kind of honourable mention for Scott Twine, Brett Pittman, and Matt Smith, who I thought were excellent at various times of the season. But I guess the two standouts are the two people that it was very, very close between. And although one looked like he was about to win it on, I think, something like Saturday lunchtime, there was an incredible surge in voting over the weekend. It's kind of my honour to announce that the Swindon Advertiser Sport Player of the Season for 2020-21 is Akin Odumeo.
Well, we'll just welcome him back on to the stream. Akin, many congratulations.
Hi, Johnny. Okay.
This is a great honour, and how are you feeling having received it?
Obviously, I'm very grateful to get this award and stuff. Obviously, to get everyone who's voted for me and stuff. But it's one of those. Obviously, the way the season's gone, you just look back and just wish that you could have done more just to keep us up, sort of thing. So I'm very grateful for the award and stuff. But yeah.
Anything to say, Johnny?
I mean, as I sort of said earlier, it was kind of up to my discretion. So I felt, you were one of two standout players for Swindon this year. I've had the kind of pleasure of watching you up close, the entire season. I thought for your first season in professional football, a lot of the time you were absolutely outstanding. You know, for someone with very little experience coming into the situation that you've come into, very rarely did you let your standards drop. I always felt, you know, if you're in the team, I felt confident. And for a defender, that's, you know, that's pretty good attribute to kind of hold. So yeah, I mean, I would. I'm pleased you won it as well, because I felt like you deserved some recognition from what's been a difficult season. Like you said, obviously you probably trade it for staying up, but I believe you're a deserving winner of this.
Sure, I appreciate that.
Well, Johnny, thank you very much indeed for that. We'll have a longer chat now with AK and with Jack. So, Johnny, off you go. Do some digging. Find out for us what's happening, because we all need to know. Simple as that, really.
Yeah.
And thanks very much for joining us on the panel, by the way, throughout the course of the season. I should also say thanks very much to Will Fowler at the football club, who has worked really hard with us throughout the course of this campaign to help us put on the Monday night panels as well. So, Will, thank you. We appreciate your time. If we could welcome Jack back to the stream as well. And we can talk to both our winners. He's just about to join us. There he is. First and foremost, let's talk to AK first of all. There you are in defence. I'm not sure how many defensive combinations there were throughout the course of the season, but how difficult was that? Because what you want is a settled back line, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously different formations and different positions that I found myself playing like throughout the season. So yeah, it was a bit difficult to keep adapting, like, and playing with different players, because obviously you want to get used to the players that you have around you, so you can like build like a stronger like relationship with them and stuff. But yeah, we went for the 5 at the back, so I was playing like right wing back for a little bit, and then right back as well as centre back. So yeah, it was a couple of positions. It was a bit difficult to get used to and stuff, but it's the job at hand, really.
And Jack, you're playing in front of the defence. How difficult is that to build up a relationship with the defence?
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I played quite a lot of positions myself this year that I've not played before. So yeah, but like from AK's point of view, obviously his first season he's played a lot of positions, and although that's obviously difficult, if you look at the positives, he would have learnt a lot, through different positions, played with different players. So you got to look at the positives. That if he was in the same team the whole time, then maybe you might get a bit complacent and a bit settled, whereas keeps you on your toes, keep learning from different players and different positions. So yeah, you got to look at the positives. And from my point of view, there's not many positives from this season, but one for me is that I have learnt some new positions. I think I played 4 or 5 positions that I've never played before. So yeah, something to build on from that perspective.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, isn't it, AK? That, you know, when things are going well, that's fine. But sometimes when things aren't going so well, you learn a lot more. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, the bad experiences are the ones like you sort of like learn from the most, sort of. So hopefully, if like you're ever in a situation that like isn't as good, that you know how to react, sort of thing. Like you don't want to be fazed by any sort of situation, sort of thing. So yeah, you got to learn from the bad as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, Jack, you've obviously had a longer career than AK. I mean, what would you say to him now? Because, you know, relegation hurts fans, it hurts players, and I you know, you'd be a fool to think otherwise. But what would you say to him about this experience that he's just been through?
Yeah, like I said, I think AK hit the nail on the head. You'll learn a lot more from this one. I mean, I've been lucky to be involved in a few promotions, and obviously I've experienced relegation now, and obviously I know which one I'd rather, but you probably do learn. You learn about yourself, you learn about the people around you, and you got to try and learn what to do differently next time. And like, obviously AK's first proper year in professional, there's quite a few of the other lads in the same position. Obviously it's not been an enjoyable year for most of it, but they would have definitely learned loads of lessons that they can take forward in their career, and hopefully they don't experience it again. And also when they do experience the good times, like the promotions, it will mean a lot more because they've had the bad times.
If I can take you back to the Memorial Stadium, Jack, and a brilliant goal against Bristol Rovers, which I'm sure you enjoyed, as we all did. A double over the Rovers is not to be sneezed at. What was the mood after that game? Because it was a vital win, wasn't it? And it moved you out of the relegation zone. and in with
Yeah.
a sniff. So what was the mood after that?
Yeah, it was a massive win. I had to do a drug test after that game, so I didn't get to see the lads in the changing room, but I'm sure they would have been buzzing. But yeah, from my point of view, I don't think I slept that night. I remember thinking, I think we went up to 19th or something, and then you're looking up and then you're thinking, like you're buzzing, and I don't know, it's weird because one week you're thinking, we're going to be fine, and the next week you lose a couple, and it's been a yo-yo season, and emotions have been up and down. But yeah, at that point, I was feeling really confident. We was playing well. We seemed to have settled. I remember AK and Ellis at the back with Grant in. I thought we kind of found the right solution, and obviously after that, it didn't really happen for us. So yeah, it's a shame because we gave ourselves hope really, and yeah, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, you've been out injured, haven't you, AK, for the last few games of the season, as has Ellis. How important is that? Because Ellis Andelo came back in, was getting consistent, then obviously goes out again through injury, and yet more changes. How important do you feel that was?
Yeah, obviously, like Jack, like Payne said, that we did find like quite like a settled back five or back three between me, Granty, and Ellis, and I felt like we were just working quite well. Me and Ellis either side of Granty always talking to us and stuff. So it was like a good mix between the youth and the experience sort of thing. So it was just such a shame really that injury happened like the way it did, and we were sort of like taken apart by force. Like it wasn't like, it's just unfortunate really. You can't really predict injuries, so just one of them.
How important was Anthony Grant too? Because I mean, if somebody's talking you through games with lots of experience, how important is that?
Yeah, no, obviously like being my first season in men's football and stuff, obviously you're learning on the go as well, but having someone there who's like done it all before and like played countless games, talking you through it just gives you that extra assurance like to really go and play your game, because you know the person behind you like absolutely does know what he's doing, sort of thing. So no, it was really good having that.
And more questions coming in. Let's have a look at this. This is from Stephen. Jack, after signing for Richie Wellens, how disappointed were the guys when he left? Because we spoke to Dion just now about this, and Tyler Smith joined us last night to discuss it. A major change when you lose a manager, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Like when you sign for a club, obviously there's more to it than just signing for the manager, because that'd be foolish if you only sign for one reason. But managers do play a big part, and they're the ones you speak to. I spoke to Richie quite a few times before I come. So yeah, when they leave so soon, it is obviously it's annoying because it does disrupt your season. But at the end of the day, that's football. You've got to deal with that. It's something that happens. It's happened to me a few times, and it's something you've got to get on with. And yeah, like you said, it's obviously not ideal, but yeah, this is football, and we have to learn to cope with these things because it's an unpredictable game.
Well, this is from Kay. Well done, Jack, on your award. Quality player. Wish you all the best for the future. This from Lee. I'm going to leave this for a minute. I'll let you think about this when you. I'm going to ask you this at the end. Are you going to be here next season, Jack? I'll leave that there just for a moment. And from Andy, Jack, do you think Matt Smith can become a first-team player for Arsenal? Obviously, he was a great influence in the town midfield in the start of the season, then left in January to go off to Charlton. What was your view on that when he left? Because he was quality in that first half, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was brilliant. I was sad to see him leave because, yeah, I thought he was unbelievable. I think his first 20 odd games, like coming straight into the first team. To be fair, AK done similar. I remember when I come up through the first team, I found it hard to play so many games in a row. But Matt Smith, he was playing 90 minutes week in, week out, as AK has, and to do it in your first season, that's incredible. That's an unbelievable achievement on its own. But yeah, Matt Smith was doing it with such quality and playing some really good passes. So yeah, like I said, to see him leave was sad. And in terms of if he can play for Arsenal's first team, why not? Obviously, they've got loads of good players and they've got the ability to buy a lot of players, but he's got all the ability there. So a lot of luck and who knows what could happen. But I'd like to see him be successful, yeah.
This is from Pete. After having played in a variety of position, what is AK's preference now? What position would you prefer to play in?
I'd say probably the same position I initially came in as, probably just a centre back. Like I just played there since I was like 12, so like the knowledge of that position is like I'm more used to it, sort of thing. So like when I get into areas, like I know what to do when I'm at centre back. But obviously, I do enjoy right back as well because I do have a few qualities that could probably be useful in that position. Obviously, just the speed and stuff. So yeah, I'd say centre back, but I'm still happy with right back as well.
This is from Steve. I'll give this one to you, AK, and then you can answer as well, Jack, if you will. Can the guys give any insight as to why there were so many injuries? It was a strange season, wasn't it? It was a season with a lot of games, all concertinaed together. Was that a factor or not?
Yeah, obviously a lot of games in like a short space of time and training as well. It was just the injuries at the start of the season I felt were quite high, but then around January I thought like we got our squad like quite like fully fit and everyone was okay. But obviously the transfers and a couple more injuries in January sort of didn't leave us in that good stead for like a couple months after, and then yeah, I think it was the injuries maybe at the start and maybe in like January with the transfers and that didn't really help so much. But I couldn't say it was down to probably just games and stuff, Saturday, Tuesday, every week and stuff.
It was a strange season, Jack, wasn't it? I mean, for all of us, let's be honest, and we hope that we never see its like again. What do you put injuries down to? I mean, it's a lot of wear and tear on footballers, isn't it? What is the main reason, would you say?
Yeah, I couldn't give you the exact answer, but I think a combination of obviously a long off season last year of Corona. I think that's probably the longest most people have gone without playing football at all, and also about having a date on knowing when you was going to come back. It's hard to build up the right level of fitness, and then from having such a long rest and then coming back and then playing so many games in a short space of time, and even maybe little things like no fans being there to give you that extra lift might play a part. But yeah, a combination of them all. I think a lot of teams have struggled with injury, but yeah, it made it a lot tougher for the squad.
I don't know what you both want to say about this, but this is from Stephen. How did Richie Wallen's managerial style differ from John Sheridan's in terms of player engagement? Do you want to comment on that, AK?
Yeah, no, just with me personally, like I enjoyed working under Richie over the short time that I did because he helped me a lot with my game as well, like specifically like how he sees the game, how he sees the game, like how it should be played and stuff, and that quite suited me, like as a ball player and centre half and stuff, that what I've learned previously. So it was just different. One to one, I feel like I was definitely like getting like a lot of advice from Richie, just like within how to improve my game and how to make it more effective in men's football, basically. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, what about you, Jack? You've played on a variety of managers, haven't you? And, you know, managers come in all shapes and sizes, don't they? How did they differ?
Yeah, for me, it's the hardest thing in football is adapting to each different manager, because I've had a lot of managers at different clubs where some I've been playing every week and then a new manager's come in and I'm out of favour. So for me, the main thing was trying to adapt. So I played as much as I can under both managers, and to be fair, I played a lot of games this year. So I'm quite pleased with that because, yeah, they have got different styles. So the fact that I was able to play under both is something that I'm happy about. And yeah, like I said, the main thing for me after last season, I think last season was the first season I hadn't played every game. So to come here and play every game was my main target. So the fact that I played every game under both managers is, well, nearly every game, is something I'm pleased about.
Yeah, 39 plus 8 sub, I think, with 4 goals, which is not a bad season, is it?
Yeah, well, appearance-wise, I'm pleased with that. I would have liked a lot more goals, but I can't be too greedy. I'm happy with the appearances, definitely.
And AK 29 plus 5 subs, not bad at all. You know, your first season really in the rough and tough of men's football. How hard was it to adapt?
Yeah, no, it was difficult because it's very different to under 23s football. Because under 23s, you're sort of just not really like playing for anything. Like you're just in the academy, just playing against other academy boys, really. So going into like an environment where it's a win at all costs and like you're going out to really like take advantage of your position in any way, sort of thing. And the amount of games as well is what surprised me quite. Like the Saturday, Tuesday every week was definitely a lot to take and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, we asked this question last night of Tyler Smith, actually. I'll give this one to you, Jack. This is from Steve. What about Michael Doughty's departure? You'll know, of course, he was a key factor in Swindon's promotion last year. Yeah. He was only there briefly this time round. Did that affect the team?
To be honest, obviously, I was only here with him for a few weeks in pre-season, so it's harder for me to answer. You might, one of the lads who was here last year might be able to answer that better. But from the time I did spend with him, I could see that he was a really good player, technically really gifted, and he had quite a strong character about him. So it didn't obviously affect me too much because I didn't know him too well, but maybe it would have affected the other lads. But as a team, I think that's just football. Players come and go. You've seen it in January, like you mentioned, Matt Smith left, DJ left on the last day. That's just part of the game. So I don't think that had a huge effect. I don't think that had a huge effect, to be honest.
Oh, it's interesting because I got a question here from Lee. Were the players affected by the last minute deal to sell DJ? So you've just answered that really in a way. Yeah. Right. Let's get on to the future then. I think it became well known, Jack, that once relegation was kind of assured, if I might use that word, there was a get-out clause in your contract. There are lots of comments here saying, would you be here next season? This is from Clint. Will you both be here next season? If things can get sorted off the field, AK could be playing in front of 10,000 at the county ground. Lots of them. Jack, do you, and Scott Twine, if he'd not been sent out, would we have stayed up? Let me see. Yeah, basically lots on the same theme. So, Jack, what is your situation?
My situation. Well, at the moment it's unknown. I don't know where my future lies. Obviously, as far as I'm aware, I have still got another year contract. But like you said, because we've been relegated, there is a clause where I can leave. But yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen. I've not spoke to my agent. I am gutted with how things have gone because I was desperate to come to a club and settle because I've been on the move quite a lot the last few years. So I really wanted to come to a club and stay for a few years. And like I've got a house in Swindon now and I live there with my missus and everything's settled. So my life off the pitch is really good there. And I really wanted to settle. And obviously I haven't had the opportunity to play in front of the fans enough, obviously briefly against Charlton, but a packed out county ground. I've been there as an away player and it's a really good atmosphere. So I'm gutted that I haven't had that. So yeah, I don't know what the future holds. If I am there next season, then I'll be really excited, trying to help the club get up. And if I'm not, then it'll be a massive shame. But yeah, I'll be completely honest. I don't have the answer for you. I don't know what the future holds for me.
If I might be bold and ask you, what might it take to make you stay then? I mean, you're a professional footballer. You got to do what's best for you and your family, quite clearly. But somebody Peter's just said, would it take for Jack to say Robbie Fowler, who's been mentioned? I mean, you're long in the tooth in terms of professional football. What would make you stay?
For me, I'll be honest. Like this season, it's been awful. I'll be honest. Like I've hated it. Like losing most weeks, it does affect you. It ruins your mood for a long time. So the main thing I want next season, more than anything, is to be in a successful team and a happy environment. And wherever I see that, if I see Swindon being the club where it seems like things are going to be completely different and it's going to be a good environment, and I'm going to come in and, well, not to say I didn't enjoy myself because I'll always enjoy myself as long as I'm playing football, but I want to be at a club where I'm winning most weeks and I'm fighting at the top end of the table as opposed to the bottom. I'd rather be at Swindon next year fighting for promotion and just go to a League One club who are scrapping for relegation. I don't want to be involved in that. It's horrible. So yeah, that would be the main thing. Is I want to be at a club who are ambitious and seeking a positive season. Really, I want to get back to winning ways. So that's the main thing for me.
Okay, well, this is from Kay. Stay with us, Jack, and take us back up. So there you are. That's what the Swindon fans think. AK, I know you don't want to talk about your contract situation, and I completely understand that. But what I will say is you winning the Swindon Advertiser Player of the Year award kind of says that the Swindon fans quite like you, which is, not to be sneezed at in a relegation season. Have you got anything to say? Would you rather not talk about it? It's entirely up to you what you say.
Yeah, and obviously the way the fans have taken me in, sort of thing, and I've appreciated that so much, sort of thing. like it has helped and stuff, and like positive messages and stuff. So yeah, I'm just a bit the same with Jack as well. I don't really know where my future lies right now, but obviously if it's to be at Swindon, I'll give it 100% and everything always. Like, so yeah, just for now, I'm not really sure where it is.
Okay, fair enough. This is from Si. Lads, bear with us, please. You've been through the worst. Now get us through to the best. On a positive and brighter note, footballers generally jet off to somewhere in the sunshine. That ain't going to happen this year, basically, is it? So, AK, what are your plans for the summer?
I'm probably just stay in my room and play PlayStation all summer, and then obviously get ready for the pre-season again and just get ready to hit the ground running, really.
And you, Jack? You obviously, you got new property in Swindon and all that kind of thing. So, is that where you'll be staying?
Well, I had Mexico booked Monday, but that's been cancelled, so I'm gutted about that. But I'm in Essex at the moment. I'm at my sister's house, so I'm going to stay here for a while with a family and spend some time with them, because I've obviously not seen them loads over the season. And then, yeah, to be fair, every summer I pretty much spend it all away. So it might actually be a blessing in disguise. I can spend more time seeing people from back home and just chill, really, and get ready for next season.
Well, rest well, and whatever your future lies with you, I can honestly say to you tonight that the Roger Bunch Official Supporters Club Player of the Year is Jack Payne. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
The Swindon Advertiser Player of the Year is Akin Odemayo, which is a great honour for you, AK,
Yes,
in your first season. So congratulations to you.
Much.
And this is from Chris. Fair play to the players who've come on tonight. Can't be easy in this situation. So we really appreciate the time. And once again, congratulations. The season wasn't great, but you've got these awards, so you should take those away from this season. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hannah, welcome back if you're ready to come back on. I think Hannah will be joining us very shortly indeed, I hope. And we can say goodbye to you the proper way. There she is. Hannah, hello to you.
Here I am. Apologies. Lots to do. People bringing in and out. So there we are. But we got there. We're fine. So yeah, just wanted to close the evening with a few thank yous. We've got quite a list of people to get through, but I'll try and make it quick. So first off, I want to say a big thank you to you, Vic, for all of your support this season. I'm sure everyone would agree. You've been wonderful interviewing both players from this season and guests from seasons gone by. So first off, thank you very much, Vic. The next one I wanted to do was a big thank you to everyone on the Supporters Club Committee and from Trust STFC, from the Low Strangers podcast, and from GW Reds. All of the fan groups have been working together in a way I've not seen before, and it's really refreshing to see. So long may that continue. As we keep saying, fan power really is the be-all and end-all of football. So next up, just wanted to say thank you to all of our guests this evening. So we've got Johnny from the Swindon Advertiser, we've got Roger Bunce, who is representing the Supporters Club, to Dion, Jack and AK. Big thank you to everyone who's made this evening special, made it work. Next up, we've got thank yous to Will Fowler and the Uncut team. So you may have seen the reel at the beginning. If not, you can catch up once we've ended the broadcast tonight. But a big thank you for that, and thank you for all of their support this season, getting all of the players on for our Monday night panels and on the Sofa events. We also have a thank you to Danny Lee. So he's been great with us this season. We've been able to get the flags on the bank for most games this year, so that's really great to see. Hopefully some encouragement, but it's good to represent the supporters when we're obviously not able to be there. And then just a final thank you to everyone, so all of our members and to everyone who's tuned into the streams all season. It's not been an easy one, definitely not, but thank you for bearing with us, and hopefully we've provided some entertainment whilst we've not been able to be at the ground.
And we should say we're not finished yet, of course, because tomorrow night Dick Mattick will be joining us on the sofa. He'll be talking about his brand new book, which is looking back at the season of 1962-1963, when the town first won promotion from Division 3 to Division 2, their first promotion in their history. And joining us, two very special guests, Sir Donald Rogers, of course, who made his debut that season in 62-63, and the great John Trollope, who will also be joining us. And they'll be recalling, I've no doubt, Hannah, you won't remember this at all, the cold, cold winter of 62, 63. So lots to look forward to tomorrow night from 7.
Absolutely. It's the final part of our triple header this week. So it's been a busy one for you, Vic.
It has. It's been great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much.